Right now at noon, a conservative law firm is asking a judge to hold the Wisconsin Elections Commission in contempt of court for not immediately removing hundreds of thousands of voters from the rolls. And former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro announces that he is dropping out of the presidential race.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for joining us. A conservative law firm is asking a judge to find the Wisconsin Elections Commission in contempt until it immediately clears more than 200,000 voters from the rolls. They're also asking the fine commission members $2,000 a day. Last month, the judge ordered to purge voters who may have moved and didn't respond within 30 days to a notification from the Elections Commission. The bipartisan commission has deadlocked twice on attempts to immediately remove voters, while an appeal to the court order is pending. To the weather now, mild today, but cooler weather on the way. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has your first alert forecast. Pretty nice out there.
Yeah, it's really nice outside right now. Winter kind of running away for just a little bit. We'll get some cooler air back on in, but today, certainly not wintry outside. We're going to have a very mild afternoon. Temperatures are going to continue to climb into the 40s, mid-40s here in just a little bit. Tomorrow will be a little cooler, but still above average. Here's a live look at downtown. Getting a little bit of sun in today, and that's helping our temperatures climb up quite a bit. A variably cloudy sky for this afternoon with temps in the 40s. And then as we become mostly cloudy overnight, we're going to hold pretty steady in the mid to low 30s. Tomorrow cooler. And it may bring a little bit of snow, but we'll take a closer look at that snow chance in just a little bit, Mark.
All right. Thank you, Dana. See you in a few minutes. Residents of a downtown Madison apartment building are being put up in hotel rooms while repairs are made to electrical equipment that was damaged in a fire. The power outage started at the Ovation on Johnson Street on New Year's Eve night. In an email to residents, management said the outage could last 5 to 6 days due to custom-made parts that take time to replace. An Oregon middle school student collecting petition signatures asking the school district to end an assignment requiring students to count their calories every day for a week. Evelyn Becker started the Change.org petition. She says students were required to track their food intake on an app called MyFitnessPal and write a paper on what they should change to meet the app's dietary limits. Becker writes that the assignment caused her depression and anxiety to get worse, and that she's not alone. We've reached out to the Oregon District Superintendent and are waiting for a response. Another Democrat dropping out of the presidential race, Julian Castro, ended his campaign today after failing to gain traction in a large field of Democratic candidates. In a video posted on Twitter, he said, with only a month to the Iowa caucuses and given the circumstances of the campaign season, he says it's not the right time. The former Housing and Urban Development Secretary was the only Latino to run for president this cycle and ran a progressive campaign focused on immigration, housing, and policing. The U.S. military is beefing up its presence in the Middle East amongst rising tensions between the U.S. and Iran. Natalie Brand has more details from the Pentagon.
Defense Secretary Mark Esper says there are indications Shiite militias in Iraq are planning additional attacks. Esper briefed reporters this morning saying, "Do I expect they may do something? Yes, and they will likely regret it." He added American forces will take preemptive actions as well if the U.S. sees preparations for an attack. The Pentagon has deployed 750 soldiers from the 82nd Airborne to the Middle East. An additional 3,000 are on alert and preparing to deploy. The move follows 2 days of violent protests where Iranian-backed demonstrators stormed the U.S. Embassy compound in Iraq. The protesters have dismantled their camp and moved on, but they left behind damaged buildings and possibly damaged relations between the U.S. and Iraq.
There's going to be a debate in the Iraqi parliament about whether the U.S. military should go home or not. That was the deal to get the protesters to withdraw.
The U.S. is still fighting ISIS in Iraq, and some are concerned a complete withdrawal from the country could hurt the war on terrorism.
It would be akin to the U.S. pulling out in 2011, which gave al-Qaeda in Iraq, which ultimately became ISIS, a big boost. So we could see that whole thing play out again.
Tensions in Iraq rose after the U.S. blamed Iranian-backed Shia militias for killing an American contractor in a missile strike on an Iraqi base last month. President Trump tweeted Iran will be held responsible for the attack on the embassy, but Iran's supreme leader taunted back, tweeting, "You can't do anything." Natalie Brand, CBS News, Arlington, Virginia.
And the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei appeared to deny responsibility for the strike that killed an American contractor, saying that if the Islamic Republic makes a decision to confront any country, it'll do it directly. Senator Susan Collins says she's, quote, open to witnesses in the upcoming impeachment trial. The moderate Republican also says it's premature to decide who might be called. A number of Republican senators have signaled they may fight against allowing witnesses. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has already requested Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney and former National Security Advisor John Bolton to be called. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says before the holiday recess, the Senate was at an impasse on the issue. New video now of a Michigan home that's a total loss after crashing off the top of a bluff on New Year's Eve. Aggressive erosion along Lake Michigan caused the collapse. The family says their beloved cottage was in the family for generations, dating back to the 1930s. The state says there's nothing they can do to help, so the burden falls on the homeowner. Veterinarians are nursing a very sick kitten back to health after he was found at Devil's Head Resort on New Year's Eve. The Sauk County Humane Society says an out-of-state couple took a wrong turn and found Mikey on a desolate highway. His eyes were caked shut with gunk from a bad upper respiratory infection. The Humane Society believes the about 10-week-old kitten was alone for a while because of his matted fur and dead leaves frozen to his skin.
It's heartbreaking. To think that a few more hours and he probably wouldn't have made it. He is so thin, and with the snowstorm, it was so cold out.
Mikey is doing much better now. He loves chin rubs and people, but because of how sick he is with pneumonia, he's being cared for at the VCA Veterinary Center in Middleton. The Sauk County Humane Society says it'll be an expensive visit, draining its already limited resources. Last year, they spent $20,000 on emergency medical bills, so any donations will help the animals like Mikey. The Milwaukee Bucks were happy to get another win last night, but they know they didn't play up to their own standards. The Bucks held off the Timberwolves in a 106-104 victory. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 32 points and 17 rebounds for his 30th double-double in 33 games this season. Chris Middleton added 13 points. The team hit just 42% of its shots overall and only 9 of 36 three-pointers. Coach Mike Budenholzer says it's good they found a way to win, but says this isn't the formula. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. I'm next. We'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Looking for the ultimate comfort food? Well, look no more. Today, we're cooking up a classic favorite that dates back to the 17th century, yet has never gone out of style. This time of year, no matter how much we want to cut back, we still crave comfort food in a big way. You know, the kinds of foods that warm us up and make us feel all cozy inside. And today, we have just the thing. It's a dish that dates back to the 17th century, yet is still very fitting. I'm talking about beef stroganoff. And if you got a minute, let me share how easy it is to throw together. The first thing we want to do is cut a boneless top sirloin steak into 1/4-inch slices. This gets sauteed in some melted butter, along with a bit of chopped onion and garlic, until no pink remains. Takes just minutes. We sprinkle the top with a little flour and a good amount of black pepper. And for the sauce, we add a can of cream of mushroom soup, a can of cream of chicken soup, and some fresh mushrooms. After this simmers for a bit, we stir in some sour cream, and there you have it. It doesn't get any easier. When you serve this over buttered noodles, which is pretty traditional, or mashed potatoes, get ready for comfort at its best. The recipe for our simple beef stroganoff is online now, so you can make it as soon as tonight. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an oldie but goodie way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Next to noon, we are hanging on to warmer temperatures today, but colder weather moves in this weekend. Dana has your first alert forecast coming up. Well, fewer Americans are filing for unemployment benefits, and the FDA plans to ban sales of fruity and mint-flavored e-cigarettes. Mark Liverman has your Money Watch report.
Airbus is now the world's largest plane maker for the first time since 2011. The company edged out U.S. rival Boeing after Airbus delivered more than 863 aircraft in 2019. The bump was expected as Boeing's 737 MAX planes remain grounded. The Labor Department reports that the number of Americans filing for jobless benefits came in at a 4-week low, an optimistic sign for the labor market at the start of the year. Unemployment claims decreased by 2,000 to an adjusted 222,000 for the week ending on December 28th. The FDA plans to ban the sale of fruity flavors in cartridge-based e-cigarettes. The move is considered a compromise between concerns over the rise in teen vaping and the impact a ban would have on small businesses. The ban would also prohibit mint-flavored pods, leaving only menthol and tobacco flavors to remain on store shelves. And Disney Plus says its new Marvel series WandaVision will now be released this year instead of 2021. It's not clear if it will premiere before or after Marvel's other highly anticipated Disney Plus shows, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's the latest move by the streaming service to retain subscribers in the new year. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Mark Liverman.
Thank you, Mark. Let's check Wall Street on this second day of the new year. The Dow Industrials up 183 points, the NASDAQ up 65, the S&P 500 up 10. Q106 Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn this week, so here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Dana is over in the Weather Center. Very nice day out there.
Very nice day. Yesterday wasn't too bad. Today not too bad. We're starting January off in a bit of a mild spot. Here's the reminder. We should be in the upper 20s right now for January. Overnight low should be in the teens. So take advantage of this mild weather while you can, because winter is going to settle back in just a little bit once we get closer to next week, the middle of next week. The warmest day we've had in January, 58 degrees. Even though it is mild outside, we're not going to get close to the upper 50s. We'll just stay in the 40s for right now. Doppler radar is nice and quiet, though we may see a small chance for some sprinkles developing later this afternoon. Right now, we're actually getting a little more sunshine, which is some good news. It's going to help our temperatures warm up a little more. We're expecting those highs to land again in the mid 40s this afternoon. Somewhere along the state line may see closer to the upper 40s for Monroe and Beloit. By overnight, we are going to become mostly cloudy. Later on this evening, there is a small chance for a few sprinkles. Nothing to cancel any plans over. You just might feel a few raindrops. Heading into Friday, we continue to see that mostly cloudy sky. Another above average day for Friday. However, temperatures are going to back off just a little bit. We'll see highs in the mid to lower 30s for Friday afternoon. Friday evening comes our next opportunity for a little bit of snow passing on through. So we get through the rush hour. That's the good news. It's not going to be coming down during your commute home on Friday. Most of this is Friday evening into early Saturday morning. And then by Saturday morning around 8, 9 o'clock, the snow's really out of here. We still have a mostly cloudy sky to start the day, but it's gradually going to become variably sunny. That means we get some sunshine back in mixed with the clouds. A little more clouds than sun, but it shouldn't be too bad outside for Saturday. As far as those accumulation totals, it does seem really likely that we're going to stay under an inch. So a little bit to whiten things back up, make it feel a little more like winter, but not a major event coming through. The higher amounts north of Madison along the state line, it seems closer to about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch of accumulation. So again, not a major event, but something that you'll want to keep in mind if you're heading out for any late evening plans on Friday. That's right when it'll be coming on down. This afternoon, high temperatures expected to land close to 44 with a variably cloudy sky. That's steadily going to become mostly cloudy later this evening. 44 is very mild. Average high right now is 27. So again, take advantage of it because heading into next week, it is going to be a little colder outside. That snow chance for Friday is late, developing at night. By Saturday, the snow is out of here. So for your weekend, plan on the sun coming back on in. Variably cloudy on Saturday. For Sunday, partly sunny skies. A little breezy on Sunday, but in the mid-30s. Temperatures stay in the 30s on Monday, but by the middle of next week, we get a little colder air passing through. Temperatures drop back a bit for those afternoon highs in the mid to low 20s, and overnight lows will be dropping back to the teens, which is where we should be for this time of year. And then temperatures heading into the following weekend seem to follow that trend as well. Notice there is that small chance for some light snow again on Tuesday and Friday, Mark, but it doesn't seem likely that we're going to have another big snow event coming through, looking through that entire 10-day.
Wow. Where's winter?
Where's winter? Right. The question we asked initially, it's not here yet.
Yeah, on this Monday, big Monday.
My schedule has been all over the place the last 3 weeks, so I'm hoping by February I can figure out what day it is, and then we can get March or just something.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
Hey. All right, thank you. Next at noon, Marissa DeGroot is here from the Dane County Humane Society. She's going to introduce us to the pet of the week, Gary the rabbit. We'll be right back. Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our pet of the week. His name is Gary.
Little Gary here.
Tell us about Gary the rabbit.
So Gary is just the sweetest little bun. He is an adult. We don't have an exact age on him, but probably, still around that 3 to 4 years old.
I love the white on the edge of his ears.
He really does have some unique coloring, and you're looking at a friend for a good long time, because bunnies can live up to 8 to 10 years. It's really not unheard of for them to live up to 12 even.
Yeah, we should emphasize, it's not a starter pet. It's not a goldfish.
Yeah, even though they're a little critter. You know, they still need a lot of care. So Gary's going to need a lot of outside of the cage playtime. And he's a pretty social boy, but he's still kind of working up his courage when it comes to meeting new people and coming out and playing.
And he needs to be brushed.
Yes, so you can see Gary does shed a little bit, so he probably just needs a little bit of
perking up a little bit
of grooming.
But they're pretty easy to care for. It just takes time.
Yeah, you just want to make sure they have, you know, a happy bunny is a social bunny and a bunny that has lots to explore and play with.
All right. So if you're going grocery shopping this month, go to Metcalf's.
Yep, you can head over to Metcalf's, their location on the west side of Madison or Hilldale. If you show them a coupon, you can find at giveshelter.org. You're going to get 5% off of your groceries. And then Metcalf's is going to turn around and donate that 5% to Dane County Humane Society.
That's a good deal.
It is a good deal. You're saving and you're helping animals in need.
You got to grocery shop anyway, right?
Yeah, why not?
Help little guys like Gary. All right, last time.
We had the funny Amelia, and she is still available at the shelter. Remember, you may not see her back in the kennels because she is hanging out with us in our offices. So just ask for Amelia.
She was a great.
She really is fantastic.
She likes to play, that's for sure. Nuzzle up to you.
Yep, so you can head to the shelter to meet her, or you can go over to Mounds Pet Food Warehouse in Fitchburg, because that is where Gary is.
Okay, so he's not at the main shelter.
Nope, but he is hanging out with the folks over at Mounds.
All right, good deal. All right, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
For information on Gary and all the critters available, go to giveshelter.org. 838-0413 is the number to call. Thanks again, Marissa. Here's Dan, and one final check of the forecast.
For the record, Gary Canalti just walked in the office, and I told him that he needs to get Gary the rabbit. So that conversation is in the works. Outside, it's very mild right now. We do have a variably cloudy sky, so a little bit of sun, a little bit of cloud coverage also. Through the rest of this evening, we are expecting more clouds to build on in. We're already at 42 degrees in Madison. There is a small breeze, so it feels closer to the upper 30s or near 40, but not much of a breeze to really factor on in. It's not much of a wind chill outside right now. Now, as we look through the rest of your week, that's just Friday for anyone who's still kind of resetting their schedule. We do have a mostly cloudy sky throughout the day on Friday with a chance for some light snow to develop late in the day and stay overnight. It ends early Saturday morning, so this isn't going to impact your weekend. But if you do have any late evening Friday plans, there'll be a little bit of snow coming down at that time. For Saturday and Sunday, high temps will be in the 30s with some sun coming on through. And as we look ahead to next week, high temperatures will be in the mid to low 20s. We fall closer to average with another opportunity for some light snow moving in on Tuesday and next Friday.
All right, winter's hanging around, that's for sure. All right, Dana, thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.